Everybody, come on in, come on in. So sorry to keep you waiting. We are going to go ahead and get started, get right into it. For anybody new here, hi, I am Maggie, your substitute teacher, and we're going to do something a little bit different tonight. You all know me from my cooking channel. I actually make food and femininity content, but tonight's stream is a stream for real teachers, of which I am not one. I work in tech, but I am a boy mom, so I'm very familiar with the school system. A company called Literal reached out to me, and they have a reading app. So, in full disclosure, this is an affiliate program. I am going to drop the link. It's completely free. If you like what you all hear, please share this with any teachers that you know. I'm in the Atlanta area. We're coming up on spring break, and then soon we'll have summer break, and that means that the kids that do like to read may be distracted doing other things. So I'm going to share with you all the slide deck that was given to me and actually take a little bit of a look at the app. And you can ask any questions that you have. And again, the link, if you're interested, I've put that in the chat and it's also in the description. So we will take attendance here. And if you want to be counted present, as always, you can shout yourself out, or you can watch quietly from the clouds. Thank you for being here, whether you're watching live or the replay. All right, so let's see who we have here on Instagram. I see the finest. Hello, sweet potato pie. Hello, Yuri, and hello, the official honor. And then on TikTok, I see Dorothy, Elaine, Margot, Bro Derek, Grace, Freddie. Hello, Margot, user Cheryl, Sandshark, and Fazio, and Lisa. Okay, everyone. So we're actually going to have like a class today. I'm going to share with you some slides. So those of you all on Instagram and TikTok, hello, Jenny's ass. If you want to see the slides, you can come over to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter. So in a nutshell, if you think about traditional books, of which we all have, you all know that I'm older, and we have textbooks, and whether you read for pleasure or read for school, you all know the books that we all used to lug around. The kids today don't do that. And like Literal says, this is the TikTok generation. Hello, Razzmatazz. So what they've done is they've taken books, traditional books that we've read for years and years, but they have put them in a chat format. So I'm going to show you all what that means. So basically, kids will have access to books on their devices, and then it will read like social media. Same book, same story, same words, but it helps the engagement since they're all in these devices anyway. So I am going to share my screen and I'm going to walk through the deck with you all. If we've got some teachers here, feel free to put your questions in the chat or you can put it in the comments. And again, I do have a link for you. It's completely free. You can try it out. You can create a class. You can assign reading to your students. And if this is something that's helpful for you, I would love for you to give it a try at no cost. Okay, so let me share my screen here and we will go over to the slide deck. All right, so as you can see here, this is Literal, which is reading for the TikTok generation. I had never heard about this before. I thought it was really interesting. You all know that I am the substitute teacher for my cooking, and it's funny, Literal reached out to me and I talked to the team and I explained to them, oh, I use sugar substitutes, dairy substitutes, and gluten substitutes. I'm not a real teacher. I like to teach cooking, but when I learned more about this, I thought it would be helpful, and I'm actually going to use it myself. So that's how we got here. So I wanted to share it with you all. If you are a teacher, if you know any teachers, please share this presentation. All right, so let's go back to the screen share. And I am going to walk you all through the deck and let's learn together. All right, let's let's do it over here. All right, so you all can see. So Literal is reading for the TikTok generation. We're going to go through most of these, not everything down in the weeds unless you all want me to. It's about 40 something slides. So I'm going to skim through and I'm going to share with you all what stood out to me. All right, so you can see here, Literal is a platform. So it's basically an app, but it's interactive. So teachers would basically create like a virtual classroom, and then you have books like on a bookshelf, and you would share those books with your students. You can assign it to them for tests, for spring break reading, or however you would use reading assignments in your class. Right now, Literal has 18,000 books, novels, and comics. Shout out to the comics. I'm a boy mom. We know all about that. And last I spoke with the founder, Michael, they're getting ready to wrap up a signing for a major publishing house. So that list of books is going to grow. All right, so you all can see here some of the books that are there. You see this is the layout, some of the format, all of the different genres of books, so you can sort and search for exactly what you are interested in. All right, so this is the part that's going to be good for teachers. So you see here it says integrated learning and assessment. So you'll be able to do quizzes, you'll be able to have assignments, you'll have a tab for your books, and then you can use the pre-built assessments or tests that are there. You can review them, you can edit them. So if you want to quiz or test your students on what they read in Literal, it's all there within the app. And again, this is completely free, so they want to get this in the hands of many teachers as possible. So again, your link is in the description. I've also put in the chat. Please take a look if you think this would be helpful for you or your class. All right, so here's a visual, one of the different formats that you'll be able to use with Literal. So you can see here, those of us who use, iPhones or any kind of texting, notice here, they take the text from the book and they actually put it in this format with the different characters like it was a social media conversation. And I just think that's fascinating. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know if you all have, but this is what the kids are used to now. So it basically takes your textbook story, characters, doesn't change anything. You see the title, the chapter, and you have whether it's the narrator or the actual characters, and then they can read and stay engaged. All right, so again, you can see here, you can personalize it, any type of book category that you or your students would be interested in. Students can also put in their different interests and get recommendations based on that. So if you want to keep your students reading, this could be an option for you. All right, so lots of great reviews you all can see here. And I'll actually, once we go through the slides, I'll actually go over to the app and show you my experience. I'm still getting my feet wet in there, but I wanted to make sure I was as informative as I can be. So you all can see here, you have the bookshelf, you have the chat format, or if you wanted to do it in just regular e-reader or audiobook format, you could do that as well. So you have multi-formats to be able to read. Lisa says this is interesting. I thought so too. And I thought it was really really funny. Literal reached out to me because they said, we're looking for more teachers. And I said, well, about that. Y'all know I teach cooking, but I love to help and learn. And if I'm being honest, carrying books around, some of you do, but I got lots of books on the shelf that I haven't gotten to yet. So this is open to anybody. You don't have to be a teacher. Literal is for anyone who wants to read. So I will drop the link again, and you all can give it a try if you want to, completely free. And again, full disclosure, this is an affiliate program, but I just wanted to share in this format so you all could see it. Lisa says, nice to have all the formats. Excuse me, absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to the slide deck and we'll go through what we have here. All right. All right, so again, you have your books like your regular e-reader bookshelf. You can use the chat format or the regular reading format. All right, so for the teachers that are watching, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, since I'm not a real teacher and I don't even play one on YouTube, I'm just gonna kind of skim through this. If you see anything that you have a question about, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to Literal. But basically what I understand here is all of the science behind reading, all of the objectives behind reading. Literal has been based to make sure that it complies with your district, your county, all of those assessments. Again, not the expert. So you can see here that you can use literal in your classroom and multiple content areas. So whether you're doing novels for our maybe high school students, or you want to do your own independent reading, you don't have to be part of a classroom. You can use literal as well. If you want to assign reading to your students, and then there's different metrics here. This is really nice, multilingual. So if you're new to English, this could be great. I know for people who English is not their first language, I know when I travel and, shout out to Marcus, he's just going to Paris and Spain for spring break. I learn often by watching TV with the subtitles when you're in another country. And I know a lot of people who come to the US, they learn by reading the subtitles too. So they do have multilingual books in their catalog. All right, let us continue. All right, so again, different categories here. If you need to do any type of reading for mental health, or this is good for teachers too, the core curriculum, which I believe is usually set by the state or wherever your district is, it integrates with that as well. So you all can see here the different content areas, English language arts, social studies. This is nice, visual arts and performing arts for those of us who like the fine arts. They have books in that genre as well. So you can assign that out if you want your students to learn about, I don't know, music theory or art. You can absolutely do that to help reinforce, especially as we are approaching spring break and summer break. All right, so let us keep going here. All right, so let's see what people are saying about it. Of course, there's lots of 5-star reviews. That's great. I am going to play a video. This is a 2-minute video that Literal had at a fair, like an expo, and you can see what the kids' actual reaction is. So I'm going to mute myself, play the video. It's 2 minutes, and then we will come back.
What do you think you're looking at?
It's like some sort of texting.
This is a book.
Oh!
What? Is that actually a book?
That's cool.
Really? What? That's really cool. Doesn't look like a book. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. No.
I knew that.
That's actually like really cool.
That's awesome, especially for my son that doesn't enjoy reading.
You don't like to read?
Doesn't like to.
So you don't like to read, but you would read this.
Yeah. I'm amazed.
You think you'd read a book like that?
Yes.
Yes, it would be a little easier.
It's more interesting and you keep them like engaged more.
It's actually engaging.
It would make me want to read more.
It doesn't look as intimidating as a book can be.
My kids are more into devices than holding a book.
My kids would love this.
This could probably solve the problem of illiteracy, get students interested.
How would this change your reading experience if your teacher gave you books like this?
I would want to read. I love that.
I think it'd be more fun. Overall, it was a better read than a normal book.
I could get my kids to read more.
Would you read a book in that format?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's cool.
It's easier to read.
This would definitely be an asset in the classroom.
I might do my reading homework.
When you go create your account.
Put it on my tablet.
Give us more screen time.
All right, so let's come back. I would love to know what you all think about that. Let's take a break. We'll go back to the slide deck in a minute, but if you are an avid reader and you don't have any problem picking up a book or an ebook or a Kindle or your device, and you can just sit down and read, put the book emoji in the chat. If you struggle with reading, maybe you're more into your devices like a lot of us. Maybe you're into audio books more than, actual textbooks. I love the feel of textbooks, but honestly, I don't carry them around with me. Put maybe the headphone or the cell phone emoji in the chat. I would love to know what you all are thinking. We got Wannabe in the house. Hello, Lisa says, would have been nice back when my sons had so much summer reading requirements. Such a good point. You all know my boys are 14 and 16 now, and the school that Marcus goes to every summer, he has assignments. And, it's hard to keep their attention. Let's just face it. Like they say, this is the TikTok generation. This is the generation when the kids are in their devices. So I do think it's fascinating that if we want the students of today to read the classics or even, comic books and that type of content, we put it in a format that they will actually consume. Finest is here with the headphones. I know, that's me. I'm listening to books being read to me. That's how I am. Hello, Sheila. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's go back to the slide deck, and I will, let's see, let me make this a little bit smaller. And we'll finish this up, and I'll go back to. All right, so Lisa's here with the actual textbooks. I know, right? I know everybody is welcome here. We have all generations here. Sometimes it is nice to curl up with an actual book, but for the kids, tearing them away from their devices is a struggle. All right, so let's see what else. All right, so you all can see lots of good reviews from people that have used it. Again, I'll drop the link. It is free. Anybody who wants to give it a try, you don't have to be a teacher. In full disclosure, this is an affiliate link, but I wanted you all to see it. So if you like to read, why don't you give it a try, or maybe share this with a teacher that you know. I'll put the link in there as well. You can also go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com, or I just put it in the chat. Okay, so you'll see here lots of good reviews. Let's talk about access. So what devices can they use? So if your students are on a Chromebook, some of the schools are giving out Chromebooks now. Literal will work on your Chromebook. If you have an iPad, that's great. Sometimes the kids like to curl up with the iPad. Your laptop, that's what I'm using it on. Desktop computer, obviously it's browser based. It's an app on the devices, but it's also browser based. Of course, number 5, all of those mobile phones that our kids are using. And then this is nice, the smart board. So for the teachers that have those new whiteboards that are interactive, Literal app will actually work with those as well. And then any browser, literalapp.com, or through your Apple App Store or your Google Play Store. So that's good to know. You can use it on just about any device. All right, so this is showing you all how to access it. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so there's lots of resources in this deck. Like I said, y'all know I'm not a real teacher, so I just wanted to give you the highlights. We'll sign in on mine and kind of click around and see what we can see. I'm still kind of setting it up, but you can sync it with your Google account. This is good. I know a lot of schools, my kids, elementary and middle school, they gave them all Gmail accounts. So that's good. If you have Gmail for your like Google Classroom or anything like that, you can sign in with that already. If you have your school information, if you want to use this school-wide or even district-wide, you can set it up as well. So multiple ways to log in. And then basically, if you're a teacher, you can use this without creating a class. You can just go in there and read. So I encourage anyone to try it, completely free for you. But if you are a teacher, you would create like a virtual classroom in Literal first, and then it says here, excuse me, if you already have, one moment, y'all. Y'all know I stay raspy. If you already have Google Classroom, During the pandemic, a lot of teachers were using Google Classroom to get work done. You can import that class and all of your class information and your students, or you can create a class manually. I'm thinking about doing this if I find some etiquette books as I look through. Thank you all for the hearts. Maybe for the finishing school, because you all know Luke Hazley and I, we do have a finishing school. It's not an actual classroom, but we do teach ladies about elegance, etiquette, and femininity. So I'm always reading and taking classes. We're getting ready for our graduation. So since they have so many categories, I was like, ooh, this did pique my interest. Okay, so either import your Google Classroom or create one. And then now you will have a virtual classroom and a code. Those of us that have kids and you're used to Class Dojo, Parent app, Remind app, any parents in the house, y'all know how they communicate with us. The teachers would get a classroom code, and then you just give your students that code. Go to joinliteral.com, and then they put in your classroom code, and boom, you're all set to go. So you can basically create your own virtual reading classroom for your students, and then you can align this with whatever assignments that you already have in Google Classroom. You can create your own assignments, you can quiz them. Everything is built into the app. And again, it is an affiliate program for me, but it's 100% free for you all. So I wanted to make sure I shared. Okay, let's see what else is available. So setup looks really simple. And then they have some ideas here for what you can do for your classroom if you all are doing literature, different novels. Again, over 18,000 books and growing, including comic books. You can create assignments, you can monitor their assignments, and you can get the students to engage. That's the biggest thing, right? We want them to start reading and stay reading. So you see a little visual here you can share to your Google Classroom with your code. Also, you can use this for independent reading. So like I said, if you just want to pick up a book, if you're a bookworm, like we used to call them, and you get lost in the book, or maybe you're going on spring break, maybe you're going on summer break. That's why I wanted to time this now. You all can grab this link, go ahead and download it, and give it a try, for spring break, for summer break. Add some books to your bookshelf. There's no cost to you, and read and see how you like it. So if you want to do your own independent reading, you absolutely can. It can even recommend books if you want to get book recommendations, and it helps students to be more independent about what they choose to read, because when they feel like they're making some decisions, they stick with them more. So that motivation is a big part of what Literal wants to do. All right, let's see what else. Again, we talked about for the classroom, for the real teachers here, not me, you can assign reading for them. If they have summer reading, like Lisa said, or any assignments, you can actually assign it. And you can see here, it shows their progress. So what they're actually reading, upcoming assignments, and what has been closed out. So this is how school is now. Everything is pretty much digital. And so if they've got their Chromebook or their laptop, they can get right into it. And then you as a teacher can track their progress. And then based on the curriculum that you're teaching, you can assign the content that makes sense for your class. All right, so you can see different formats here. For example, Hamlet, right? Shakespeare. If those of us who read the, Out Darn Spot, those of us who read the classic version, you have it here. Available to you, but then they also have turned it into graphic novels, another way to keep kids engaged, right? They haven't changed any of the chapters, any of the text. It is the actual book, so nothing has been changed. They just make the format more engaging for your students. So whether that is in the chat format, whether that's audio, whether that's with graphic images to keep them engaged. All right, so you all can see an example there. Let's see, did I miss anything? They can collaborate. The teachers, you can collaborate and share with other teachers. So if you have like an English department or art department, you all can collaborate, and however you want to do your instruction with visuals, it's all in the app for you. We talked about multilingual, so I love this. built-in translation for every book. So those of you all that may have schools in, districts where English might not be the first language, this can be an option for your students to help them read and comprehend and learn the language. They have Spanish titles, over 150 and counting. And then this is nice. This is me all day for the audiobook listeners amongst us. You can listen to the English narration and pronunciation. That's a big one, especially when you're learning another language. You want to make sure that you're communicating effectively. That helps the students with their vocabulary. So I really like that as well. All right, let's see what else. So I know this wasn't around when I was in school back in 1842, but sometimes bullying and other things, happen. It's true. So now they have books that even cover that. So if it's a subject that might be difficult for students to talk about, maybe they can read about it. And teachers, let me be clear, you have complete control over what books are available for your students. And I really like that. You all know my channel, I always say, is happy, wholesome, and family friendly. So you would control what your students read. And so I really do like that. Let's see here. And then again, if you have district standards, state standards, whatever your core curriculum is, you can find that content. So it will be available to you, and then you can teach accordingly. So whatever grade you're teaching, whatever unit the class is on, you have the curriculum ready to go. And then you can add your own titles, make your own class bookshelf. Let's see. All right. And they have fiction and nonfiction as well. So ELA, some of you love it. English language arts, I'm a STEM girl. So if I'm being really honest, I did what I had to do, but I can see how this would make me want to read more. So we've talked about the books that they have, the assignments, how you can track your students' activity. And then this is nice, built-in journaling and commenting, because you want the students to not only read, but understand and engage. Hello, everyone coming in here. So you can see here again, this is a visual of one of the functions. So you can see they take a regular book, novel, comic book, textbook, whatever, and then they turn it into what looks like a text conversation. So it's broken up in the little bubbles. This is one format. You can have the regular, you can have this chat format, you can have the audio format. So they have translation. We already talked about that, the Spanish and the pronunciation. Social studies, those of you that are into history, maybe we have history teachers here, we call them sock stud, any of your social studies or, I don't know, poli-sci teachers, any of that kind of stuff, you can see here, Abraham Lincoln and the Gettysburg Address. You can read it, you can add it to your virtual class and manage it. So all of the same books and texts that you would have is available here. All right, biographies, so you can teach your students about different historical figures, State of the Union addresses, inaugural addresses, if you're interested in, politics or social studies. So I love that. Some of those speeches, really last the test of time. All right, and then comic books. This would be great for, the young or the young at heart. We all start with picture books, but they have comic books in literal as well. I remember the paper comic books, but now you can get them electronically, so kids can have access to the characters that they know and love. Performing arts, this is really nice. So if you wanted to read the book as a play, I love that. So you can have the different characters here. If you wanted to act it out, you could take those classic texts and make it into a performance. That's really nice. And assign your students different characters so they read their parts. I think that's really ingenious. I really do like that part of it. So, speed settings. So this is nice. So you can do different levels of reading. Some of us are fast. Some of us, need a little bit more time to comprehend. So you have that control as well. And then you can set goals and reward them as they complete their reading assignments, because you can monitor everything as the kids are reading. And then you can give them immediate feedback. And the kids can too, because it has a journaling feature. All right. So, and even for reading aloud. So I think we got Gillis in the house. Hello, my dear. All right, so let's see what else is available, and then we will go over to the app and wrap it up. So again, I did want to stress this. You can absolutely restrict content. So any books that you do not want to be shared with your class, with your students, with your group, you can absolutely restrict those. You can put age ratings on them. You're basically making your own bookshelf. It has, some suggestions. It has your district, your core curriculum, if you want to put that in there, and you can use those books, but you absolutely do not have to. And I love that control. So we talked about the recommendations. When you log into Literal, it will ask you, what are some of your favorite topics, and if you don't know where to start, it'll give you some recommendations based on what you say you're interested in, or you can just search for a book. And this is really good for the teachers. You can watch how your students are progressing, what they've completed in their reading history, their reading level. This is really good to know. Excuse me, at the beginning of the year when you're trying to assess the students and where they are with their reading. This is nice, words per minute. I thought that was just for typing. Apparently there's a words per minute when it comes to reading as well. And then you can see what they put in their journals and comments, all in the app. All right, so I wanted to share this with you all, and then we'll come over and take a look at the app, and then we'll go ahead and dismiss. This is the short one. Again, this is a special stream for teachers. If you are a teacher or know a teacher, Literal reached out to me because they thought I was an actual teacher, because my channel is Maggie the Substitute Teacher, and they said they wanted to get this app into more teachers' hands. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not a real teacher. I teach cooking. And once they told me about it, I was like, but you know what? I'm a mom with kids in school, and I know a lot of teachers. So I emailed both of the boys' current and previous schools. So I'm sharing this. Feel free to share this with anybody that wants to read, or maybe teaches reading. It's completely free. Again, in transparency, it's an affiliate program for me, so I do have a link for you all. I will drop it one more time so you can create your free account. You can create a classroom, or if you're just an independent reader, you can absolutely just go to the Literal website or download the app and play around there and see how you like the books in different formats. All right, thank you all for the likes. All right, now let me see. I'm going to come over to the app. I have to be honest with y'all. I'm still getting it set up, but one of the things that I do like here, so I'm using the browser. I'm just using a laptop browser. So I've got my email in here, and it saves your credentials. So again, if you already have Gmail for yourself or for your class, maybe Google Classroom, you can connect with your existing Gmail. Excuse me, or you can use Clever. I know that the boys use this in their school. This is like a portal where parents can go and see assignments, students, basically now, this is for those of y'all that don't have kids, or maybe your kids are long gone. All the assignments are basically posted, and kids now, they don't really have to write stuff down and remember. They go to, the teacher's website or Clever, and they have assignments are posted there at the beginning of the week, and maybe they're due the next Monday. So, whether they are sick, or there's, what do they call it? Independent learning day, or I just found out next week, Monday, April 8th, they're having an eclipse day, because apparently we have a solar eclipse coming, and the kids aren't going to school. They're closed down the school. So now there's no excuse for the kids not to be able to just log on, because they have all their devices and get access. So that's good to know. I wanted you all to see that if you're teachers. So I'm just going to sign in here. And like I said, I'm still setting it up. I haven't done much with it, but we'll see here. So let's see. Did I put any books there? Okay, so you can see here it's got some recommendations already, or some new releases. So I could click around here. I don't know if you all see anything that you're interested in. I remember reading Hamlet. So let's just click around and see If you all have any books that you want me to take a look at, I absolutely will. So I could add this. I'm set up kind of like a teacher view, so I could add this to my classroom to assign it out. If y'all want to start a little book club, I can create a class and y'all can join my free book club. But let's see what happens when we click here, read on literal. So you see right here, Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 1. So you can see here, it's got, let me play it, see what happens. Let's see, is it sound? Let me mute.
Elsinore. A platform before the castle. Barnardo, Francisco, Horatio, Marcellus, Ghost. Enter Barnardo and Francisco, 2 sentinels, meeting.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me.
So you all can see it's taking the actual text and putting it into a different format to kind of keep the kids engaged. Gillis says, my boys didn't like that I could see online what their assignments were and upcoming tests. Oh yeah, I get the notification. Oh, you were tardy today? Really? What's that about? I know instantly if something was turned in late, if something was not turned in. I know the kids don't like it. Oh well. Gillis says, oh wow, they're doing Eclipse Day. Very nice. Yeah, so this week is spring break. It's Good Friday tomorrow. If you celebrate, you know, happy Easter, and then we'll have Easter Monday. So it's spring break where I live, and then they'll have the following Monday off as well for the eclipse. So yes, there's a lot going on. So let's just click around here. I'll turn the sound back off so you all can see. So the kids could literally just put this on their devices, and you notice how it basically has the exact text. And this is Hamlet, William Shakespeare, over 400 years old. So you can see here, you could read it in this format, or, you know, the traditional format if you wanted to. All right, let's just go back and see what else. I'm gonna click on, you all can see here in the menu, you can take a quiz of what you're interested in. I could join a class like we talked about. You can create your own class or import your Google Classroom. You can make assignments for your students. There's a tutorial in here so you can learn how literal works. I'll play that video at the end because we're almost done. I'll play that video. Let me just see how long it is. It's 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll finish here and then I'll play that video so you all can see about it, and then I'll let you all have your evening. Okay, so let me just make sure we're still here. All right, so lots of different slides. We already went through that. There's a one-pager here so you can learn all about it. Again, this is a reading app. They call it for the TikTok generation. So you can get support. Again, it's new. They're definitely looking for feedback. So if you all would like to use the app, again, it's completely free. We'd love to know what you think about it. So I need to finish setting it up, but you can see what I've done, create a little virtual class. I can create assignments for my students. I can review assignments. You can see here, I could search for particular content that I'm looking for. I can get, oh, let me make sure y'all can see. I can get recommendations based on what I'm interested in. I can browse different books, comic books. Let's take a look at the comic books in just a second. Different publishers. And again, Literal is about to sign with a really big publishing house, so it's going to grow. And then all of the different categories. Let's look at the Comics Plus. See what's over here. Shout out to Avatar. So this is not my area of expertise. Y'all know I don't know, but you can see here, let's look at the Princess book. But you can see here they have new, let's see what Comics Plus looks like. Oh, it's going over to another tab. Let's see here. Let me see what you all are saying. Okay. Let's see. All right. I don't know how to get out of that. Okay, so you all can see it's basically a digital version of your comic book. I won't spend too much time here, but it basically takes them through, and you can change the view if you wanted to look at it like this, all the different comic books. And that's great. I mean, this is a great place for kids to start if they're interested in still these picture books. So you have all of that. Maybe you all know some of these characters. Honestly, I don't know much about comic books. But you all can see here, let's look at the categories. You can see the different categories that they have. They even have diversity, so African American books. They have Spanish language books, all kinds of stuff here. So you can play around with it. You can play around with it and see. And again, you can completely change and control what your students have access to. So if you want to take something off the shelf, you can absolutely do that. So you can see some of the books that are recommended, what's popular, so you know what everybody's kind of reading right now, different publishing houses that they've partnered with, Sherlock Holmes. So you all see how this goes. Oh, sci-fi. Shout out to sci-fi. I know the kids like that. So it just goes on and on. You all can see how it is. Oh, wow. It just keeps going. Sports. Okay. All right. They've got Florida standards. You can also import your own as well. Let's see if there's anything else to call out here. Then we will finish with the video. And just scrolling. So I'm playing around here. Like I said, you all know Lucy and I have the finishing school. So I'm considering making, if I find some books that would be helpful. And again, it's free for students to read. So I may create some optional reading for our students for personal development. All of their socials, so you can find them online. I've also linked them in the description. You can use multiple devices. I'm just in the browser. So this will work on their phones, on their Chromebooks, school issued, their personal devices, all of that. All right, so I'm just playing around here with different books. You can see it shows what I've opened up. I was looking at this one, Advice to Little Girls. So you all can see once they click on, you'll be able to see what your students are interested in and their progress along the way. That's really nice. It's really nice. Okay. Comics and everything. So let me just see, we're going to wrap up with the video, and just wanted to share this with you all. Oh, Killa says Stephen King. Let's see, I'll go in there and check. Let's see if they have Stephen King. You know, I don't know, y'all in your horror, what is it called? And is Stephen a PH? Stephen King. Okay, let's see. Did I search? Yes, they have Stephen King. And let's see what they have here. Stephen King, what is this? Orbit, one of the best-selling authors of all time. So let's see what happens if we want Stephen King. It's opening up in a new tab. And again, this is available to anyone. All of my scholars, you can grab the link. You can create your own independent reading bookshelf. And you can do the traditional format, audiobook format, chat format, whatever keeps you engaged. So it looks like they put Stephen King into a comic book. I don't know if this is one of the ones that you're interested in, but I'm just going through. So it's like a Stephen King comic book. So I don't know anything about this, but it already looks scary and gory. So yes, so that's there. Let me just scroll through and see if there's anything else. If you like those type of horror films, Master of Terror, and this is the new app, so more is coming. But you can see a little bit of what they have. And of course, once they add more publishing houses on here, it will grow, and I'll let you all know. All right, let's see. Lisa wants me to check if they have Anne Rice. Okay, let's see. And true crime. You ladies in that true crime, I can't get down with it, but I'll search for you. Okay, let's see. Is Anne Rice A-N-N-E? All right. I don't know anything about this. Anne Rice, there it is. It's called the Lisa Rice. Anne Rice, Female Force. It looks like this is another comic book. So it tells the story about her in her formative years. So, and I'll also search true crime, but you all can see here, Amalia, Emma, Ida B. Wells. Let me search here. True crime. Y'all know I don't know, but y'all love this stuff. Okay, murder books, lovely. Shout out to y'all. I don't know if you know anything about these books. Some of them look like comic books, some of them look like actual books. So I don't know if any of these you want me to open up, but I intentionally stay away from this kind of stuff. Maggie's a softie. But you can see, and you can try it out. All right, let's see what y'all are saying. Lisa says lovely. Okay, I'm glad you all like it. Okay, so to wrap up, and then I'm going to play the 2-minute video and we'll close out. Again, Literal reached out to me. This is a new app for readers. They are ultimately what they want to do is they want to get this into more school districts. So they're making it completely free for teachers and for us. If a district wanted to, invest in this, then that's where they would do business. But they want to get this this app in as many hands as possible. So if you're a teacher or you know a teacher, please share. I'll be honest with you, please share my link. Or honestly, if this is helpful, just go to the Literal site. You can I don't know if my setup gives you more features, but you can check it out. All of you all who are watching, you can absolutely create your own free accounts, give them feedback. They want to know what we think about it. So I wanted to share that with you all. They reached out to me because my channel is Maggie the Substitute Teacher, but y'all know I teach cooking, but I wanted to give you all of the resources that I can. Gillis says, yeah, you'll be hearing about it plenty. Oh my goodness. Oh, y'all are talking about Easter. Yes, happy Good Friday and Easter. Yes, for anybody who celebrates, absolutely. It is a it's a Holy Week, so very, very exciting. Okay, yes, absolutely. Okay, so let me wrap up with the video and then we will close out. Let me see where it is. I have multiple tabs open. Which one is it? And I will, it's another 2-minute video. Is this it? The overview? Okay. Reading for the TikTok generation. Let me mute myself and then I'm not even sharing. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself and play this video and then we will dismiss.
Provide you a quick 2-minute overview to Literal to help you get started today. Literal is reading for the TikTok generation. There's a couple of different ways to think about what it is and what it can do for your classrooms. Literal is an interactive group reading and assessment platform. This is so fun. Your kids will love reading on the platform. We call it reading for the TikTok generation for a couple of reasons. Number one, the kids can read together on the platform, meaning the reading is actually interactive as an entire class. Number two, we have integrated assessment built directly into every one of the books on the Books tab in Literal. Number three, we offer multimodal reading formats allowing student choice, not just to dictate what they read, but how they read it. Let's dive in a little deeper into those three key points. Number one, interactive group reading. As you saw in the last slide here at the very top, there's a Books tab and a Comics Plus tab. The Books tab has over 1,000 titles typically aligned to curriculum to help with instruction. And the Comics Plus tab on the right has over 18,000 comics, graphic novels, and manga that the kids can read with the characters and storylines that they really gravitate to out of the classroom. Number two, every title on the Books tab has integrated learning and assessment. These are short answer questions that we generate for you. You can edit them, you can simplify them, you can change them, and you can assign them to your students in as little as 2 minutes. We have an AI that auto-grades their responses so that all you need to do is go in and approve the auto-grade to complete your grading activities as you gauge comprehension of the students. And the last feature I'll cover today is the multimodal reading formats. What you're looking at here on the screen is The Great Gatsby, exactly as the author wrote it. Everything you see in blue is narration. Everything you see in white is dialogue. This is word for word the exact same content that you would find in the book. All we've done is add these visual scaffolds to make it much more accessible to the students without needing to simplify the grade level of the reading. You can keep every student in the same class at the same time engaged in a core text by adding these visual scaffolds. In summary, we have comics and graphic novels for independent reading, Literal books with a scaffolded visual format that the kids can actually be in reading together at the same time. And both of those two steps are to help all of the students in your class prepare for full chapter reading, especially with the black text on the white page that doesn't hold their attention like it used to. Literal is your best resource for helping students read together and get engaged in the text in your classroom. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
All right. Hercules says, oh, wow, they have manga. I have no idea what that is. So if that's a good thing, that's great. So you all, I posted the link in my link tree. You can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com. It's also in the description, and I will paste it one more time. Again, it's completely free for anybody. It's geared for teachers, but even if you want to do your own independent reading, Bible study, book club, whatever, you can set up your own virtual classroom and then just send out the code and get your hands in there and read the books or have the books read to you in the classic format, audiobook, or in the chat format, which I think is really cool. So Calissa, you'll have to let me know what manga is. So new app, they reached out to me. They thought I was a teacher. I wanted to share this with you all. So if it's helpful, please use the link. It says very interesting. I'm glad this was helpful. I put the link in the chat. You can click on it. It's completely free. And give us feedback. Let us know what you think. More books are coming, but I wanted to give you all this resource. So we're going to go ahead and dismiss. Today's Thursday, so tomorrow Lucy and I will be back with the Wives Club. You all know I make food and femininity content. I'm your substitute teacher because I use substitute ingredients when I cook. But I do want to say thank you to all the real teachers that have dealt with my kids, y'all's kids. Spring break is upon us. Summer break is coming, so I wanted to share this. All right. Thank you so much, Instagram. I will see you all tomorrow night on the Wives Club channel. I have 3 channels, so we'll see you all there. And then TikTok, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for the shares. If this was helpful, please share this with any teachers or anybody who's interested in reading. Class is dismissed on TikTok, our TikTok generation. Yes, have a great evening. Oh, I'm so glad you all like this. Gillis says manga is a comic genre from Japan. They have their own style. Okay, kind of like anime and that kind of stuff. Clearly, that's why I didn't know. Wait till they have recipe books. Ooh, wait, maybe I should look. Let's see if they have any cookbooks in there. All right, everybody. So thank you, Literal, for reaching out to me. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you all tomorrow in the Wives Club. Class is dismissed.